Welcome to the ZoCo Podcast. My name is Cody.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Naomi.
We have a third voice that is not heard of.
In fact, it's probably our first female voice.
I believe it is, yeah. Almost 20 podcasts in, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're on number 19 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Crazy. Time flies. I think we started back in April. I think it was April.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I have no idea. I don't even remember. But yeah, we have 20 podcasts in. Or 19, I guess. Just about 20.
Yep.
Are we going to do anything special for 20?
Depends on if we can get people to come.
Because we did a video podcast for 10.
Number 10, yeah.
We attempted to do another video podcast, but the video failed, and so we had to cut the audio.
Oh man.
What podcast was that? It was the one where Alex left.
Oh, man. Oh.
When did he leave?
Oh, gosh. I can't even think
I don't
right
even
now.
remember.
I can't even think right now.
So, Mayumi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh. Well, I live in Arkansas. I'm half Japanese, half German. I'm 27, and I'm here with you crazy guys. I don't know.
You have quite the accent for Arkansas.
Thank you.
I know. I'm going to start finding people in Arkansas now. That's a southern state.
It is quite southern.
So, are you a gamer? What kind of games do you like to play?
Oh gosh, I play Diablo 3 on PC. I also play a lot of Xbox 360 games like Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield. I'm really into it.
Pretty well-rounded gamer.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh. Have you ever played Minecraft, the story mode?
I actually have not. Neither of us have, but.
Oh.
So I have Minecraft for the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
I never played it. I started playing on the PC, but I don't know. I preferred to play on the PC rather than Xbox. So
Yeah.
and I hate the Pocket Edition. It's like so hard to play.
Just use TeamViewer for that.
Yeah. TeamViewer with some bad Wi-Fi. It doesn't work.
Oh,
I tried that with Far Cry 4.
Have you played story mode then?
Story mode.
Minecraft.
Yeah, I have it. I played it. I got to chapter 5, and I'm just like, no, because I got to buy more. It sucks because you pay.
How does it play? Because that's the one thing I've been curious about the story mode one.
It's quite interesting.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
Well, because I've just never played it. Like what is does it play just like Minecraft, or is it more like what's the graphics like?
The graphics are pretty good. Pretty much, it's the Order of the Stone, and you have to defeat this thing that is like destroying the world. I'm a horrible storyteller.
That's fine.
So I hear it a little bit, but what is your best American accent?
Oh God. How are y'all? How are y'all?
I swear I nailed it. We had this discussion. Foreigners always go Southern. Always. Y'all is such a Southern saying.
Yep. Was it that's when Alex was here, right?
I don't know.
I can't remember. We discussed it. I just remember.
We talked about it on a podcast.
It was one of the podcasts recently.
Where foreigners will typically go with a Southern American accent.
Yeah.
It's the easiest.
I don't know if we have an accent. I don't know.
Californians.
People say the Californians have an accent.
Oh, Utah has an accent, so clearly,
Utah does.
Clearly, we
sure
must
Utah
have some
does.
kind of accent.
Mm-hmm.
But those are like the northern states. Northern states have an accent.
Yeah.
Then you got like the Jersey, the Boston,
Jersey.
the New York,
Boston,
which are all similar, but they're they're each a little bit different.
It's all from the German and English and Dutch and all those European countries mixed because of that's who settled it.
Yeah.
Italians.
Boppity boopity.
bibbidi bobbidi.
Peter, just because you have a mustache doesn't mean you speak Italian.
Oh gosh.
So have you ever played Far Cry?
I haven't.
Well, it's okay. I played it super late, and I definitely jumped on the bandwagon way late. But I love the game. It's really fun. It's similar to Minecraft in that you have like the crafting, the exploring, and things like that. But it's not so open world, I guess, and a little more objective based. But I don't know. It was really fun. Are you playing it, Trevor?
I haven't played in a while. I haven't really gotten my PC much. I've been playing a lot of Destiny lately.
Destiny.
Rise of Iron came out.
Oh, wait. Titanfall comes out in like 2 weeks.
November.
I thought it was October.
October 28th. It's like a month.
So it's like 4 weeks.
It's like a month, bro.
Close. It's coming out soon.
Yeah, that's like a month.
So what are the chances that that's another 60 gig game?
Oh, gosh.
That's a huge game.
Well, it has a story mode now, a campaign. So,
yeah, we'll see how that is. Have you played Titanfall?
I have not.
Man. We're just not on the same page of games here.
No, I haven't even played League yet. Like, I have a group of people I hang out with from Twitch, and I stream with them as well. And they're like, you got to get League and play with us. And I'm just like, no, I'm going to stick with my Diablo and Minecraft. I'm good.
So you joined the bandwagon for League then?
Yeah.
I've had so many people tell me, like, oh, you need to get on League, And I'm like, nope,
League's
I'm good.
never interested in me.
I'm good.
Oh, boy.
A lot of people try to get me on, like, Warcraft.
Oh, gosh.
And it's like, man, I can't get on these games.
At this point, even if I wanted to get on Warcraft, I don't know. There's just so many expansions for Warcraft. I don't even think I'd want to try.
Well, and it's, whoever pays the most is the best character.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's way back in the day when we played RuneScape. Do you remember playing
gosh.
RuneScape?
Oh my goodness. I used to play that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That was it was a lot of fun, but then
Then you
all
get
the
to the
paid
point.
stuff was like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Then you get to the point you just have to become a member in order to get anything good. And
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, I believe it downloaded like a ton of viruses on a bunch of people's computers.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Oh, man.
I don't want to get sued. Libel and slander over here.
No, it's funny because I actually, probably about a year ago now, I don't even remember, I downloaded RuneScape again because now you actually have to download it. But I just wanted to, I'm just curious, what does RuneScape play like now? What is it like? And I downloaded it and played it for a little bit. I'm like, it is so much different.
Yeah, I think those kind of games you have to consistently keep up with the story and the changes because if you fall too far behind, you're playing a whole nother game than you played.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. How many years ago was that now?
Oh, gosh.
I mean,
well, let's see. I remember I was playing RuneScape when I was I want to say 12 and a half, 13 or so.
it's probably about right.
But even then, it was 5 or 7 years old.
So that's a super old game.
Yeah, it was I want to say almost late 90s is when that game really made a hit.
Well, I'm consulting the iPad on this. I'm going to find out when RuneScape was created.
Did you ever play Gaia online?
I had a Gaia for a while.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things after RuneScape that I got into.
Same.
But I never got super get into it, but I still have one, I just don't play it anymore.
Yeah. I haven't been on in so long. I think at first I was all about the gaming and just exploring the world. And then I learned about the forums and the roleplay. I was like, ooh, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so RuneScape was released January 4th, 2001.
2001. Okay. Yikes.
That is a 15-year-old game.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow.
RuneScape is a fantasy MMORPG developed and published by Jagex, released originally in January 2001. It's a graphical browser game implemented on the client side in Java and incorporates 3D rendering. That sounds like some serious technology for 2001.
I mean, there was only a few selections back then.
That's probably why I turned the graphics so far down. Because we had some piece of crap computer.
Well, if I'm not correct, Warcraft came out not like World of Warcraft, I should say, because Warcraft has been around for a long time. But World of Warcraft, I think, came out only probably a few years after that, because I remember World of Warcraft being a thing around the time I started playing RuneScape.
Whoa.
Black Betty?
1994.
1994, World of Warcraft, really?
World of Warcraft.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's about all I got for gaming.
Mhm.
I'm not much of a gamer.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible gamer. I played a little bit of Halo, but I don't know, it didn't grab me.
Yeah.
So you're a Halo player. Do you like Red versus Blue?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch like religiously?
Not as much as I used to, but yes.
So Rooster Teeth is actually like what inspired us to do what we do, just because of, we love what they did and we want to do it too. So
That's really cool.
that's actually
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our origins.
they're a huge inspiration to us.
Yep.
And then Monty died.
Um,
He's the animator.
mhm.
Oh, wow.
He's the one that made Red versus Blue like
Awesome.
blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died a couple years ago now.
Wow.
He went in just for like I don't want to say routine surgery, but it was like a minor surgery, and then he just had a terrible allergic reaction and he died.
Oh, my goodness.
So he was also doing Ruby at the time. So do you watch Ruby?
I don't.
It's something that he created
Yeah.
back in I think it was 2010.
Mhm.
I think it's whenever they did season 10.
Yeah.
He finished up season 10, and then he had this idea, and so he started putting it on paper, and then it became Ruby.
Yeah.
Yep. They just come, was it season 4 they came out? Are they coming out with now, or?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I see stuff on Instagram. They have the new season of Ruby coming out. I haven't seen it yet, but
Honestly, I'm not into anime, so it doesn't really, appease to me. But I like it for its artistic style.
Mhm.
yeah, Volume 4, October 22nd is when it's coming out.
Dang. Yeah. So when Monty died, the team had to like pick it up and
Put it together.
try to mimic what he was doing. So I think there's actually a lot of changes after he died
Yeah.
Probably.
to make it like his style.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the problem, is like as anything that has to do with computers, everybody has their own personal style and their own like touch.
Oh, anything artistic, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, as simple as editing the podcast. I have certain things that I like to do
Mhm.
just for sound, and that might be different than what somebody else does. And what they do is completely different from what I do. So
Yeah.
same with video editing.
Anything like that.
Do you know that they'll never put two landscapers together if they're like doing masonry work?
Mm-hmm.
Because when they're laying the rock, I don't know, let's say we're doing like a slab wall.
Okay.
They will never put two people at two different ends and then have them meet in the middle. Because if you stood back and you looked at the wall, you'd see a line down the middle of like where one side of the wall looks one way and the other side of the wall looks a different way. Because everybody has their own artistic talent
Yeah.
to where they think it should be this way, but the other person thinks it should be this way. And if they start on opposite ends and meet in the middle, you have two different walls.
Yeah.
Similar styles, but just different
That's
designs and stuff. So, is there anything that you want to plug for your own stuff? Because you said you do Twitch, and do you do anything else?
Well, I can't stream on my laptop at the exact same time as gaming because I lag way too much. So I actually go onto other people's streams on Twitch and Africa TV, but I don't really want to, without their permission.
Yeah, getting into the legal side of like YouTube and stuff,
Yeah.
it is so hard
Yeah.
to stay within like limits.
Mhm.
It's like we don't have an explicit tag, nor do we do anything that like would put us under the age-gated videos.
Mhm.
I don't know, if you say one thing, it can age-gate it. Someone can flag it and age-gate it,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. Then we get attacked.
Oh man.
It's same thing with like uploading to iTunes. iTunes has specific rules that if you say certain things, you have to put the explicit tag.
Yeah.
But that explicit tag, you limit yourself to I believe 17 and up.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if there are parental restrictions on the iPads or iPhone or whatever,
It won't
Then-
let it.
yeah, they can't download it.
Gotcha.
Staying within those lines can be rough, depending on the user agreement. So
Gotcha.
we're working on getting our podcast onto iTunes.
Oh yeah.
Is it through the podcast app?
Yeah.
We need to get our website going, and we're waiting for Alex for that. So
Yeah.
We're waiting on Alex for a lot of things.
yeah, waiting on him to finally get his act together.
He's the one in Utah, right?
Idaho,
Idaho, yeah.
same thing.
Basically the same thing.
One giant landmass. That would have been cool though if he was on today's podcast. That would have been a tri-state.
Yeah, that would have been actually.
Tri-state podcast. Alabama to
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Dang it. Arkansas to California to Idaho.
Well, you know.
Oh, don't you know? Sorry. We need to know somebody in Canada. Cross country here.
I know people in Canada.
There you go.
Yeah.
2 countries. 5 states.
We
This
got
podcast
this.
is going to take over.
We got this.
So do you have a page where people might be able to go and look at some of your stuff, or do you want to plug your own stuff, or do you not want people to go?
I don't want to plug in.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, I just started my current YouTube channel because I can't get into my other one since
Oh.
they bought them out. And so I'm having to restart everything, and I'm not ready to really let people know about it yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Well, that's okay. There's only like 10 people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway. I have actually
Yeah.
gotten a couple reviews this week. So I did post on Twitter. I said, hey, if you want us to talk about specific things, let us know, and we'll talk about them. No one said anything. And then we did get a comment, or I got a message on Twitter, and someone said that they wish we talk about more gaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sure, we'll talk about gaming.
Sounds cool with me.
I know very little. I know what I know, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Hop on the bandwagon, man.
I do have an Instagram that we can plug that in. It's MayumiLove88.
I got it, so.
All right.
So I want to potentially get a little political.
Uh-oh.
Potentially.
Whoa.
Look, okay, we don't get political. We don't talk about politics. But I would like to do a PSA. We have an election coming up.
We do.
Now, I don't want to say who to vote for. I don't want to say who you should vote for. But I just believe that everybody should vote. I think it's important.
Yeah.
So it's actually something very interesting. We have this freedom that most countries don't have, that we choose who leads our country.
Yeah.
We choose the laws that are inflicted upon us, generally. And I think that that's what's important, is that the propositions that are given to each state are determined by the people who live in the state. 100%.
Yeah.
So, people complain about the laws in their state. They complain about what's going on, and California, we hear it a lot.
All the time.
Our state's terrible. But it's your choice. You have the choice to go out there and vote and make the change to your state. And that's what these propositions are for. And, if you want to make a difference in your state, then on election day, go vote. I just think a lot of people, they don't go out and vote, and they just kind of let it go. And I don't know. I guess if you don't vote, you should just not say anything.
Yeah.
You didn't have a. You didn't
take your say.
Yeah, exactly. So voting day, and I know this only goes for America, because nobody else cares. But voting day is Tuesday, November 8th. So that's coming up in really not a whole lot of time. That's coming up quick. Do your research. Do your research and look at the laws that are going to be placed in your state, and make a difference. You get to make a difference in your own state. So practice the freedom that you have, because not a whole lot of people have this freedom.
I'm just sitting here picturing an American flag behind Cody right now, just like, giving the speech while America the Beautiful was playing the background.
I got a flag hanging right there.
We do. We should just have you go up there and you have the speech again.
just think it's important. Like, we live in a country that everyone complains about the laws, but they don't go and vote. It's
Exactly,
like, go vote.
Yeah.
If you want something different, make the change.
Yeah.
So what state laws do you have on the ballot? Do you know?
I don't. I don't know.
I know we have like Prop 52.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Well, the big one a couple years ago was Prop 19, the legalization of marijuana.
Okay, yeah.
And 2 states now have passed it since Prop 19.
Yeah.
I think more, actually. I don't know. Washington and Colorado have it legalized. Everyone said, oh, California is never going to legalize it because the potheads aren't going to get up to vote. But we live in a very old state. And those people with the older values, they're the ones that get up and vote.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have the older values, which say they don't want marijuana to be legalized. And so the proposition didn't pass. Simple as that. So it's those kids, if you want to make a difference, go out and vote. Some people's grandparents. Grandpa Betty over here. Wait, Grandpa Betty?
It could be Grandpa Betty.
That actually reminds me of the story. I was with a friend at the doctor's office, and she had asked me to go get her keys, and I didn't know the doctor had went in there to give her shot. And so I came back into the room, and she was bent over the counter getting her shot, and she gets red in the face, and she's like, well, bend me over and call me Betty.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy. I hate going to the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I avoid it at all costs.
Avoid it like the plague.
Because you can get the plague. That waiting room is an incubation chamber.
Oh, gosh.
You got all these people who are just coughing and they're sick. And you're in just for some minor back pain, and now you've got all these other diseases.
You've got the list.
Look, Doc, I'm just here for my back, but these guys in the waiting room, what do they have?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So why Arkansas?
Why Arkansas? Okay, it's an interesting story. So when I was 3 years old, I was living in another state, all right? And my parents wanted to move, but they didn't know where they wanted to move. So my mother had the bright idea to get a big map book, and she did. And she closed her eyes, and she just flipped through the pages and pointed, and it landed on my town and this state, and that's where I am.
Wait, since you were 3?
Yeah, since I was 3, but I've moved to different places when I turned 18, so I've been around the States a little bit.
Because you have a thick accent.
Really?
I would say. I don't know. Is it just me? It sounds like a heavy accent for, I guess
well,
not.
I have my parents to thank for that.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That's quite you hear people talking about that where it's like throw the dart at the globe or something.
Uh-huh.
Nobody ever does it.
I guess so.
I guess people actually do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get out of California, though.
Really?
Not to get on politics, but
Oh, man.
I'm not a fan of the state.
The only place in California that I've been is Orange County. It was it was only to the airport, and I was quite disappointed. I get there from Chicago, and I'm like, what is this? Is this desert? This place is so tiny. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, Orange County is pretty bad. That's that's the one that we talk about the most as being like the worst.
Really?
Because you have the 91 freeway that goes, through Orange County, and that freeway is the biggest parking lot in California.
Oh, man.
At some points, it stretches 8 lanes on one side.
What?
And it'll still be backed up. It's ridiculous.
Insane.
There are just so many people on the road at one time. It's insane.
Yeah. Make it a double-decker freeway.
Yeah. Well, was it last week we talked about that bus?
Oh, gosh.
It was like the bus that drives over cars.
That was freaky.
I think it was in China. Was it China
I don't know.
that was developing this bus? It was really like I don't know how to explain it. It's a bus that it's a I don't even know. Instead of like carrying people like a normal bus would, it would be raised so that cars could go underneath it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's so weird, though.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It looks super dangerous.
How did they get on?
Well, I'm guessing there's a way to like stairs or something like that, or something that'll.
Yeah, there's got to be something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the wheels and everything are a little overextended so that it'll go in between the lanes. But it's just like, I don't know.
But yeah, my thinking is, what if somebody turns into this thing not knowing that it's coming up behind them?
Yeah.
And then they get like decapitated because this thing is like, it's not like a car. It doesn't have like wheels.
Yeah, no.
It has, I believe it'd be like a trolley.
Yeah.
I would think.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know. I just saw the picture. I didn't read the article.
Could you imagine being in your car and this thing coming behind you, just going over you and past you? That you can't.
Yeah, all of a sudden it gets dark.
Yeah, exactly. You're like looking around like, what's this?
Tut tut, looks like rain.
Kids freaking out in the back seat.
Yeah, I don't know if this thing actually works. We'll see. Yeah, transportation's terrible in California. So
Yeah.
people do compare it to other states, and it's like, I don't know. I think the only other worse state than ours, well, it's not even a state, is Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Back on the Washington bit.
Washington, D.C., I've heard is like super bad.
Yeah, just
Well,
traffic in general.
I guess New York.
Yeah.
But I've heard New York's getting better.
Well, it's because the thing with New York, though, is that most people can walk still
Yeah.
within the city, so most people within the city actually don't even own a car.
Yeah.
It's people from outside of the city that actually...
Well, I've heard it's people coming from Jersey.
Yeah, it's mostly, like, the big one is coming from New Jersey, going into the city.
I think my parents went to New Jersey one time. I think my dad paid 2 tolls on one bridge.
Yep.
2 tolls.
There's toll roads everywhere, and you have to pay tolls to get
One
anywhere.
bridge.
Anywhere.
I don't get that. You're on the same bridge. It's like 5 minutes ago, I was sitting in traffic on the bridge. I pull up to this one, and you're going to charge me again? Why? I don't get that. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Do you know that movie that has you pay to go to different time zone areas? Yes.
Oh, in
every
time?
time I go past one of those toll booths, I always think of that.
A lot of people hated that movie. I actually liked that movie.
I liked it too.
It's with Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried. I don't know how to say her name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
So, all right, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this movie. It's been like 20,000 years.
Yeah, right?
Their currency is time. They live on time.
Mm-hmm.
So they are born with a set amount of time. And then up until they're 25, their clock doesn't start. So they have like a tattoo on their arm of their clock. And it ticks every second. And in order to get more time, you have to work. Your time is payment. And so they actually have a scene where they go to like a coffee shop. And, you know, it's 4 minutes of time. And so they pay in time.
Yeah.
And the idea is that those who have, you know, billions of years could live forever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's those, it's kind of like a Hunger Games, I guess. They're
Okay.
segregated into like districts.
Okay.
And like certain districts, you know, they're literally living day to day. I think the opening line is, I just wish that I'd wake up with more time on my arm than I had in time of the day. Than there were in hours of the day. Literally, you're working just to live.
Wow.
But then you have these, you know, millionaires that they have so much time that something they point out is that he checks his clock often, but that the rich people don't. Yeah. How he gets kind of found out that he's one of the poor people is that he keeps looking at his clock.
Yeah.
Because the rich don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have so much time. It's like they don't even worry about it. So
interesting.
It's a very interesting movie. I liked it. I thought it was good.
So you mean to say that he's taking what we thought we think and made us think we thought our thoughts we've been thinking our thoughts we think we thought? I think.
I just went through a bunch of SpongeBob memes and it was so hilarious. I think my favorite like face SpongeBob makes is when he finds out that Squidward likes Krabby Patties. He's like, face scrunches up in this tiny little thing. Like,
on the top of his head.
you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward? Did you want to talk about Harry Potter?
We could. Did you look up anything, Miami?
I looked up a little bit, but I pretty much already knew everything that it said.
Okay. Yeah, we could talk a little bit about it.
Do you not want the spoilers?
Give it to me. Now, if it was The Walking Dead, I would be like, hell no.
Well, Walking Dead hasn't even started yet, so.
I just want to know who
Walking Dead
Negan
hasn't started.
killed. If
I
they,
know, right?
oh my god, they haven't exactly been following the comics. So if they actually follow it this time, I'm not gonna be happy, and I'm not gonna be. No, it's not gonna happen.
No, so that's actually kind of one thing I want to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up.
Who does? Okay,
It's coming up.
each of us.
I know.
Let's try to make our own predictions here. Let's see and
It's someone.
who we think it's gonna happen.
It's someone with hair in their face. But in the comic, it was Glenn. But in the
Yeah.
if you watch the clip, they give the person's viewpoint, which they've never done before, and the person that was looking had hair in the face. And if you look at everybody that was lined up, it's one of the people with the hair long. It's not the boy. It's not the main character. I'm praying it's not Glenn, but it's someone with hair in their face.
So Glenn, actually, I believe, according to the comic, was supposed to die a long time ago.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, because
But-
Negan comes in a lot earlier.
But they kept him alive for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think it's Daryl.
Some people think it could be Daryl because I've heard that one because he is doing actually a new show.
Yeah, he signed on to something else.
Yeah.
He's signing up something else, so it's possibly him. My other thinking is
I heard he signed up for something else, but he didn't give up his contract for The Walking Dead, though.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if it's not Glenn or Daryl, then I think it could be Eugene.
I heard a talk show
Mm-hmm.
about Eugene's character, and it was the guy who plays Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was on this talk show. He signed on for like another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's no way it's
So
him.
it's not him.
It can't be him.
Okay.
They were talking about how, his character's making all these big decisions and stuff, and how like the character has been molded and that there's more to come. Also, signing on for the next 3 years doesn't do anything because there are characters that have signed on for more years,
Yeah.
and they just show up as memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's a big one.
They actually had a convention here recently in Texas where you could meet your favorite characters and whatnot.
Nice.
What part of Texas?
I think Dallas. I'm not sure. I just know I saw it.
Cool.
I didn't go. I wanted to.
I lived in Texas for 2 years.
Really?
Houston area, but I want to go back. I'm looking up the day it starts.
October. What's the? It's like one of the late.
Isn't it October 7th?
It's one of the later October dates. It's actually like
okay.
late. It's way late in October. It's like the 22nd or something like that.
What season are we on?
7.
7.
Season 7?
Yeah, I believe it's October 22nd or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that it was like it was like one of the last weeks in October for some reason.
Do you know where they're filming season 7?
Well, they've been filming in Georgia.
Really? I heard they were filming here in Arkansas.
Oh, nice.
They might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that because it's based out of Georgia, they actually have been filming in Georgia.
In technical sense now, they're actually in the show. They're actually in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Technically.
that's true, yeah.
Because they were in Georgia and they went up to Washington D.C. and that's how they came across Alexandria, because that's actually up in Virginia. However, of course, you can make any place look like any place sometimes. So they might do parts in other states. I don't know.
October 23rd, 2016.
I was close.
That's like the same release date as Titanfall.
28th.
Close. I mean, a week before.
That's like a year, dude. That's like, and then that adds up to 5
That's like
years.
a whole nother lifetime, all right?
That's a whole
You might
lifetime.
as well just be waiting a lifetime. Alex doesn't understand time. We're all waiting for Tom Clancy's
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Wildlands. We can't wait for that to come out because it's like a different
Oh, it looks
Far
so
Cry?
bomb.
And they pushed the release date from November to March
yeah.
of next year.
Which it still has the date of March 7th or something like that.
It'll probably change one more time before we actually get there.
Yeah.
But, so Alex was saying, oh, well, that's like a year away. And it's like, no, that's like 8 months away. He's like, yeah, that's like a year. I'm like, well, if it's a year, then it might as well be 5 years away. And if it's 5 years, it might as well just be a lifetime.
Yeah, right.
So we're waiting a lifetime for this video game to come out. So that's, if you hear us say that, that's
Alex's
our joke.
Time math.
So The Walking Dead and Titanfall aren't coming out for another lifetime.
Exactly.
So get ready, kids. Do you have an Apple device?
I have iPhone, yes.
How do you like the update?
It's okay. I mean, I'm not.
I hate it.
Really?
I hate it.
Oh man.
It's a pain.
We've been going off on Apple for the past couple weeks.
Yeah. I don't think anybody likes this update.
Yeah.
Cause so you can scribble messages now. I sent you one. Did you get it?
Was that green light?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually did work. I'm surprised it sent.
I was waiting on the green light. And
Yeah.
Gave me the green light.
So how did it come up on yours? Did it come up as
Sure.
a picture, like a PNG, or
It showed up like because mine's Samsung, so it probably showed up a little bit different from what. Yeah, that's how it showed up on mine.
Yeah, so almost like a picture. It doesn't say the format it's in, but
I'd have to save it, but I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't.
So what do you like about the new update? What don't you like?
Oh man. I really can't give you an honest opinion because this is the first time I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is my first iPhone ever.
Oh wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
I guess so is mine. Mine is the first iPhone I had, but
Yeah, mine was the first, and I don't have an iPhone anymore.
Yeah.
you literally had the first iPhone?
No. I had.
Okay, I was gonna say.
No. My first one was a 5C. I had my first, and then I never had one again.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. As far as like Apple goes, Apple's good because everybody knows the name. You can pick it up and use it. It's very simple.
Oh, there's definitely pros to it.
But
It's the but.
But
I'm kind of like, yeah.
They changed like the iPhones have the fingerprint scanner.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work. If you have dirt on your hands or something, it doesn't work. And you could swipe to the side and it'll give you your keypad. And then you just, type in your password. Well, now you have to like sit there and click the home button until it finally decides, "Oh yeah, you're looking for the keypad." Sure. Here it is. It's so annoying. And they took away the gun emoji.
Yeah, they switched it out with a squirt gun.
It's a squirt gun. A lot of people are up in arms about that.
Oh, I've seen so many memes about that one.
Apple took your Second Amendment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of
weird stuff.
A lot of controversy about this update, and people don't like it. But I agree. I'm not a fan.
Oh man! Speaking of updates, I know neither of you really played Destiny, right?
Nope.
Yeah. But this is just kind of a little thing that I learned about Destiny recently. They just came out with Rise of Iron in this month, basically earlier this month, and I was playing it and everything and hearing a little bit about it because it is super short and the story is just crappy. Like it's utter crap. It didn't really add much to the Destiny story or anything, but I actually learned something interesting about it. Apparently, Bungie was initially planning on releasing Destiny 2 when Rise of Iron was supposed to come out. However, apparently Destiny 2, they were like, well, we want to do some more stuff with it. We want to, make sure that we've got it all working condition and everything good. And so Activision was like, okay, well, what are you going to put in its stead? So they came out with Rise of Iron just to kind of put in as filler. So it's just a little interesting fact to learn that because it's not a very good update in comparison to past ones. I don't know. That's one thing that kind of bugs me about stuff like that is Destiny is like one of the games that it could be a very good game, but they don't do enough with it, and that's what bugs me about it.
So we were talking about Harry Potter.
Started.
So we talked about it on a podcast. I got the book and I started reading it, and then I finished reading it. I gave it to Trevor, and then Trevor finished reading it. We've talked about it, so I don't want to dwell on it too much.
Yeah.
But now that you read it, let's talk about it.
All right.
So, based on kind of what I said, what did you find?
Kind of going back to what we talked about, because like I remember you saying one of the big things about it was like, how do you do this? Because like the thing about Cursed Child is that it's in play form, and it could be a movie as well. But the main reason for this one being out was for a play.
Yeah.
And there are scenes in there that you're just like scratching your head, like, how do you do that on stage? And I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes that are like, how is this done?
Like Polyjuice Potion. There's
okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, in what is it? The second one, the second book.
Yeah.
Hermione is saying, "Look, Polyjuice Potion takes forever to make."
Yeah.
Right? In what was it? 5? I think it was book 5.
There's a few.
They
ones
brew it up in like a day. And then in the
yeah.
Cursed Child, they do it again, where they just like they brew it up real quick, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yet in the first time they introduce the potion, it's like,
Takes
this is gonna take forever to make because it has to be so perfect, and it blah 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 blah. That was the whole point of why they went to the girls' lavatory on the second floor, where nobody ever went because of Moaning Myrtle.
Yep.
What the heck? The Chamber of Secrets would have never been found if they knew how to make this quick recipe.
Yeah.
Because they could have done it in their dorm or something.
But yeah, like in this edition of Harry Potter, they do use Polyjuice Potion. How do you do that on stage is the question, though. You have to use clever
smoke balls.
You have to use clever way of like hiding them, and then switching out the person without the audience knowing that you switched it out.
Well, and then there's the point where they start to kind of drift back to the person they're impersonating.
Yeah.
How do you show that on stage?
Oh yeah.
Because that's a complete makeup change.
Yeah, that is
over like it's a changing figure in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
If you could pull that off, that's amazing. But it's just one of those moments you're just kind of like, wow, scratching your head like, how do you do that? But my biggest thing with it was, if this is a play format, every like 2 to 3 pages or so, there's another scene change. Well, a scene change is like, yikes. In a play, if you are changing anything like atmosphere wise, you have to do constant changing, because there's just like scene shift from goes from like
sets,
Hogwarts Express to all the way with Harry and Ginny or Harry and Hermione in the Ministry, and that's literally the scene change.
Well, and then there's a scene where they go from the general area of the Ministry of Magic to a room.
Yeah,
that's a scene change.
Yeah,
but that only takes place in like 2 seconds, and then you make another scene change.
Yeah, so that's kind of my biggest thing with like all the scene changes. It would make sense in a movie, but I don't know in a play.
I don't know how that would translate. What do you think about the story as far as just so personally, I don't think that the book picked up until the last probably 50 pages. That it was kind of dull.
Yeah. Have you heard anything, Miami?
I haven't. I just
okay.
I looked up the review, but I haven't actually read the book.
Okay, so you haven't heard really anything about like what other people are thinking about the story?
Other than what you guys are saying, no.
Okay. Okay, well, yeah, this overall story was kind of hard to swallow.
It's kind of hard. It's difficult. They picked an obscure place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is kind of also another thing I have as well with the book, is that it's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is the title of the book. Well, Harry Potter is not the main character in this book.
No.
And that's kind of what I was like, because like when I seen that they came out with the Cursed Child, I was like, okay, well, Voldemort's dead, so where are you gonna go with that? Well,
you have to have an antagonist.
Yeah, and this book is primarily centered around Albus Potter, which is Harry's son. Which at the end of part 2 of Deathly Hallows, you see this brief instance, basically, which is actually the first part in this book, where they're at the Hogwarts Express and they send him off to school and everything. And that's actually who that is. This is centered around, and it makes like a leap in years as well, just kind of through his experience at Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's 19 years after Book 7, really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's real obscure. They picked a really weird storyline. I think that she's not a good screenwriter. She's a good book writer.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's a different art. It's completely different in writing.
Completely different.
And I get it. She had the help, but there's things that I think are just inconsistent with the actual story.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about movies not translating to, or books not translating to movies, or comics not even translating to movies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a book translating to a book.
Yeah.
And that's where she failed.
Yeah.
It did not work.
Well,
personally, that's what I think.
Well, that's kind of going back to the scene change thing. It's like, in a book and in a movie, that makes sense. In a play, it doesn't make sense at all.
No.
And that's one of the biggest, I think.
And I don't like that they changed, and I mean this in the most honest and humble way. I don't like that they changed the ethnicity of Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
In the play.
Play. Because you have the character, you've shown the character, this is who the character is, and then for the play, you go and change it, which, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. And I get it. The character can be portrayed as being a black woman, but I don't know, it's when you set up something, you don't change it, because that's canon now.
Yeah.
That's what everybody knows, that's what everybody likes, and then it's changed. I have a problem with it, but
Tool.
Wow. Yeah, I'm the tool.
It's okay.
Well, Mayumi, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
About the characters changing? You've seen Dragon Ball Z, right?
No.
How do you feel about them using a white guy? I mean, they completely changed the character for Dragon Ball Z.
Did they now?
Yes.
I never watched it, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not up to date with Dragon Ball Z anymore.
About the only thing I know is over 9,000. That's about it.
It's over 9,000.
All right.
I actually heard an argument that Goku is stronger than Superman.
Seriously?
Yeah. There's a lot.
Somebody proved it with science based on information given in the shows.
Oh wow.
That Superman actually has a top out.
Uh-huh.
And they changed, they converted the units from Dragon Ball Z into actual units.
Yeah.
And using those units, they just multiplied, and they got this huge number, which means that Goku can outlift Superman. So he is stronger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole argument, but it was proving that he was stronger than Superman with science.
At least until Superman goes into the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who
I've seen all sorts of stuff.
I had a buddy who was so gung-ho on Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole argument was who's the best superhero? And he always said, of course it's Superman. Put him toe-to-toe with anybody, and he'll win. And the whole thing with, I don't know, Hulk matches the same strength. But the problem with the Hulk is he only has the one power, and that's just rage.
Yeah.
Superman can fly, heat vision, all that, strength. So he doesn't have to beat him by strength. He just has to beat him by being able to flee or, laser eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Thor has a hammer that nobody else can lift, but Thor is nothing without his hammer.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is get the hammer away from him, which is just a strap. And then it got up to the Silver Surfer. And the Silver Surfer, I think, was deemed... This is going to start a huge war, too. The Silver Surfer was deemed the best superhero because he holds the power of the world in his hand. He controls the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy had such a hard time with, no, because once he's off his surfboard, he can't do anything. He becomes nothing, so all he has to do is get him off his surfboard, blah, blah, blah. But he holds the power of the world in his hand, the universe in his hand.
Yeah.
And is actually a good guy. So.
Yep.
But no, I have no idea anything about Dragon Ball Z, so
Yeah.
I cannot contribute.
It's alright.
Well, should we call it a podcast?
We've got a podcast.
It is definitely a podcast.
Should we call it a night as well?
Should probably call it a night.
Yeah.
It is a night.
I am going to knock out. Well, thanks, Mayumi, for being on the podcast and being our guest.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It was a pleasure.
Well, it is definitely our pleasure to have you on.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to check out her Instagram, was it your Instagram?
It is, yes.
You want to plug that one more time?
It's Mayumi Love 88. Mayumi Mayumi Love LOVE 88. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. And yeah, so go check out what she's doing, and eventually I guess we'll have some more stuff on YouTube, and check out our stuff at youtube.com/zombie couch. We have a
Twitter.
We have a Twitter. We have a Twitter specifically for the podcast, which is at ZoCo Podcast. And then we have the at Zombie Couch, just for general Zombie Couch, which we haven't really touched. Do you have a Twitter?
No.
Do you have anything that you want to plug?
No.
Because I don't think you've ever plugged anything.
No.
But I think
outside of the Instagram, which is Zombie Couch Official.
Yeah. I think my personal Twitter is at ZC Cody. I think that's what it is. I don't really post much on there, but if you guys want to check that out, you can subscribe or whatever you do on
maybe
Twitter.
if we get more followers, maybe I'll make a ZoCo a Zombie Couch
Yeah.
Trevor or something like that.
We do have a few Minecraft videos
In the
post.
making.
So watch out for those on our channel. Subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook and all the other things.
Alrighty, we will see you next week for another podcast.
Talk to you later.